13-10, the crowd is going wild because the moment is at hand to honor a Bay Area icon and a man who has come to embody the San Francisco 49er franchise. There he is, a live look at Joe Montana, and right now a retrospective look at one of the great careers of all time.
This saga began so unassumingly. In 1979, the 49ers were at their lowest point ever, and with a third-round draft choice selected Joe Montana of Notre Dame. Weeks earlier, Bill Walsh had been brought in from Stanford to bring respectability back to a fallen franchise. By the end of an incredible third season, coach and quarterback would be the men most responsible for an improbable Super Bowl championship. 14 days earlier, in the NFC title game against the Cowboys, Montana, the coolest man on the field, hit Dwight Clark in the back of the end zone to propel the 49ers to a decade of dominance. 3 years later, another Lombardi trophy would be hoisted, and Joe would cap a season in which the 49ers won 18 of 19 games with a near-flawless performance in a rout of the Dolphins. Then in 1986, an already spectacular career appeared to come to a depressingly premature end. Back surgery was going to write a finish to Montana's playing days and sink the spirits of the 49er faithful. Stunningly, before that season ended, Joe made a miraculous comeback, and the glory days would soon return. In 1988, the 49ers won another NFC title, and in the Super Bowl in Miami, Montana entered the huddle with his team trailing the Bengals 16-13 with 3:10 remaining. It was the type of situation he lived for. Coolly, confidently, and methodically, Joe Montana led the 49ers to the end zone as if there was never a doubt. Lombardi Trophy number 3. George Seifert became the coach in 1989, but the transition was nearly seamless because number 16 was still there. And as the decade of the 80s concluded, Joe Montana would lift a 4th Super Bowl trophy. Injuries had Joe in and out of the lineup in the 90s, and then it was on to Kansas City, where more magic moments wrote an end to one of the great careers of all time. In our mind's eye, we can see Joe Montana in any number of glorious scenes, but they all seem to reflect his essence as a football player. He was always in control. He had uncommon grace. There was an easy elegance. He was a master surveyor who always found the mark. In 2 years, he'll go to the Hall of Fame. But the waiting period to retire his number 16 ends tonight.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, throughout Joe Montana's career, the managing owner of the San Francisco 49ers for 20 seasons, Eddie DeBartolo.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Starting in 1979, this was a mystical time for the San Francisco 49ers. Joe Montana came on the scene as Sir Lancelot came into Camelot. In behalf of the greatest fans in the NFL, in behalf of the greatest city in the world, this man has etched his place in NFL history as the greatest quarterback that has ever played the game. And now, my dear friend, it's taken me 19 years that I've been waiting to do this. We are retiring number 16 forever with our grateful gratitude to Joe for what he did for all of us. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I would just like to start off by saying that I'm very honored to be standing here tonight. Back in 1979, when I first stepped onto this field, I never imagined I would be in this position tonight having my number retired. When I look back on all those years, I think we all should feel a little gratitude. I know I do, to an individual who I believe is probably one of the greatest men, caring, giving, that I've ever come across in my life. I would like to personally say it was an honor playing on his team, and on behalf of my wife and kids and myself, we love you, Eddie, and thank you. I also have to thank another gentleman up here tonight who I feel was just a bigger part of making this turnaround in this organization, not only in helping my career and my success in the NFL, but also making this team what it is shaping up to be even today, and that's Bill Walsh. I thank him for having that faith in that little skinny-legged kid back there in 1979. I also want to say thank you to two people very special to me, my mother and father, for all the sacrifices they went to enable me to do the things that I needed to do to get here. I want to thank my wife and children for being patient with the crazy schedule of the professional athlete, because she was always there for all the support whenever I needed it, and those little back rubs on Monday morning. I also want to say thank you to a bunch of guys, and there are none of them up here, because if I tried to get them all up here, it would have taken us forever to assemble all my teammates over the years, because without them, I certainly would not be here. I thank them, and I thank, as Eddie alluded to earlier, probably the greatest fans anywhere in the greatest city anywhere. Thank you for your support.
People, many with moist eyes, saying thanks for the memories to a man who will never be any ordinary Joe. Joe Montana, number 16, retired forever. Second half from San Francisco when we come back.